Right, the grid is forming, and as soon as the officials are happy, we're going to be in business then for this final race of the day, this Motors TV live race day. And we've had some great racing all day from a real cross spectrum of cars. So, front row, Lotus and Brabham, Mike Hibbard and Jonathan Hughes. 15 minutes of racing about to get underway as the drivers look towards the lighting gantry. When the lights go out, the race will be underway. You're riding with Jonathan Hughes. There are the red lights, which are extinguished now, and away they go. He gets a good start this time around, but so does Dennis Welch, also from the second row of the grid. Down they head towards Redgate Corner for the first time. It is Mike Hibbard who leads, goes defensive, hugs the inside line. Here comes Dennis Welch in the open face helmet, then in the Lotus 22 round the outside. Wheel-to-wheel stuff, this three abreast virtually going into the first corner. Hibbard leads, Hughes second, and Dennis Welch hung out to dry on the outside there.
Yeah, great stuff. Just, we've got a bit of a problem with car number 20, I think that was, and it hasn't made the start, which is very unfortunate. But looking back now, great racing just to start off with, nearly three abreast at Redgate Corner. These cars do slip and slide. They have to throw the car around the corner to get it to handle. Here we go, revving it up to about 6,000 revs, coming up into fourth gear, quickly changing into fourth, flat on the power, now braking. Middle of the road, getting it back down the gearbox again, watching out for the back wheels locking up, getting a bit of oversteer on the exit. Very relaxed driving style of our camera car of Jonathan Hughes, who hasn't raced, remember, for about 18 years. Kissing the curb, running wide on the exit, and then getting down the straight. Can't obviously see what's behind us at the moment, but great. Lifting off the throttle, quickly changing gear again, and then braking to the newly reformed Donington Park chicane, which has made the straight longer. Great video footage from the camera car there.
Bit of a lock-up there, and he ran a little bit deep into the chicane. End of lap one, Mike Hibbard leads the way. Jonathan Hughes second in the Brabham. Peter Morton is third in the Lightning Envoyette, the white car there you can see in third place. And fourth, look in the background, is Dennis Welch, who has not had a great first lap, has he? He was hung out to dry, remember, here at Redgate on lap one, and therefore he lost ground as he sorted himself out. Peter Morton has gone through. That's going to give Dennis Welch a lot of work to do in this second 15-minute race as they drop down through the Craner curves. Mike Hibbard, though, has managed to gap the rest of them. He's 9/10 of a second ahead.
Yeah, Hughes as well is, whoa, look at that, fully sliding around Craner curves, getting on the marbles on the exit there. That's brilliant stuff. So he made a slight jump start in the first race, but then managed to stop, so didn't get penalised. But Morton is well on his tail as we approach McLean's now. Again, onboard stuff. This is really, really good footage here that we're seeing. Locking up the back wheels as he approaches the right-hander of McLean's, because the car's still loaded up as they go around Swanch Curve, which is a slight left-hander. Making the car very wide, braking, locking the back up again, so he's got to be smoother off that clutch. Middle of the road, making the car very wide for young Morton, who is right behind us. You can actually hear the echo of the other car behind you, revving it really, really hard. These cars love to be revved and driven hard. So here he is, right behind us. The battle continues.
Jonathan Hughes in second, then only just, in this ex-Silvio Moser car that won all of the 1963 South American Formula Junior races. Right with him is Peter Morton, then as they come across the line, side by side on the outside is the Lightning, and he's going to go through, yes. Peter Morton storms past, going down towards Redgate. The Brabham drops back into third place, and with them, of course, is Dennis Welch and the Lotus as they turn their way through the right-hander, heading now towards the top of the Craner curves. Whilst all this is going on, Mike Hibbard trying to drive off into the distance. He's leading now by 1.8 seconds. 12 minutes are still on the clock. Down through the Craner curves they go. So now, up into second place is Peter Morton. What can he do about Mike Hibbard? He raced really well in the first encounter with these cars early on in the day, and now that he's worked his way up into second spot, can he go after the race leader?
In Jonathan Hughes' excuse, actually, he did say that he is down on power. I don't think it was an excuse. These cars really do need to be really much in pristine condition, and the engines are so important about getting the last little bit out of them. But as you guys know, it's due to money. Finances in motorsport is not easy at the moment, so having a down on power engine is the best way to start the season for a returnee of Jonathan Hughes. Going wide at Coppice as well, sorry David, going wide at Coppice, letting another place go, making it look easy for some of the others that are crawling through the field.
I was going to say, down on power or not, he's still running in this leading quartet, isn't he? And he's trying his best to defend third. Dennis Welch on the inside. Vastly experienced driver is Dennis, and Austin he and Izzy had great success with, and more recently for the junior cars. He comes across the timing line now. So Dennis Welch up into third spot now. He's trying to make amends, remember, from the first lap when he lost ground. Goes down towards Redgate Corner now. Hibbard to Morton has come down by half a second. Peter Morton has just done the best lap of the race there at 1:18.1. He's half a second quicker than Mike Hibbard. Third is Dennis Welch now. Fourth is Jonathan Hughes. Fifth is John Truslove. The rest of the field will perform through, and on this lap number 4. Morton is certainly the one to watch.
And car number 23 there of Roach going up. Remember, taking his dad's car as his original car for the weekend, blew up in the first free practice session. So also leading, second in class at the moment. Well, no, leading his class at the moment. So Roach doing well in the 23 car, the pale blue car.
In the front engine class ahead of Justin Fleming. So for this race, Stuart Roach in the Condor. Towards Coppice come the race leaders. We are almost at the end of the first third of the race. Peter Morton last time, remember, was quicker than Mike Hibbard. This time I think Mike is trying to respond.
Yeah, Peter Morton's driving style, when we actually get footage, the second car with the white nose that we can see there, chasing down the leader, really does throw the car into these corners. The driving style, very, very aggressive, like yanking on the wheel, getting that back end of the car to react. So the quicker you turn the front, the more the back reacts, and then that steers the car through the corner, giving minimal effort from the driver.
Peter Morton, one of the younger drivers on the grid. He's 26. Mike Hibbard, who leads the way, is 57 years of age these days. A man, as I said in the first race, who earns his living storing Rolls-Royces and Bentleys, has his race preparation company as well that is largely run by Andrew Hibbard, his son, and he's no slouch in a racing car either, being a Formula Junior or a sports racing car. Andrew Hibbard, but Dad Mike leads the way. Whoa, Peter Morton there, really flirting with drama coming down through the Craner curves, but he is much closer to Mike Hibbard. Despite that scary slide, he is getting closer and closer to the leading Lotus.
Yep, he was 5/10 quicker on that last lap, so Hibbard really has got his mirrors full of Peter Morton, the young charger. Peter Morton's dad is racing as well, so he's a little bit further back. You know, a good family chat on the way home, I would have thought, about their day's racing here at Donington Park today.
One of them might be talking about a race win if he carries on like this, because Peter Morton is getting closer and closer to Mike Hibbard. That half a second pullback on the last lap matched what he pulled back the lap before, so a second gain in 2 laps. He's almost now close enough to challenge as they come through the traffic, then getting past some of the slower front engine cars down towards the chicane. Getting past Stephen Bulling there, number 18 with the Sadler. Over the line then. Hibbard to Morton was 0.8 last time. It's going to be less than that now. And Morton's going to challenge on the way to Redgate. It's a 1/10 of a second. He goes to the outside line then. So the Lotus is on the inside in the hands of Mike Hibbard. Can Peter Morton go around the outside? No, he can't. But wide in, tight out. Might be the go here.
It looked like that was the case, but no. Hibbard is a very experienced driver, as you've just said, so got a great run, considering the line that he took on the way in. He pushed Morton to the outside and got a great run. Another back marker could be to Morton's advantage. So yes, Morton now has to take a tighter line, gets now a slower run out of the exit, which just gives Hibbard that extra couple of tenths that he needed to get a bit more breathing space.
Francesco Baldanza's Lotus 22 was the car in question. I think it's going to be the Alexis, the HF1 of Duncan Ravagliati, to be negotiated next. Duncan, hugely experienced, knows when to get out of the way, keeps an eye to his mirrors, and indeed moves out of the way of Peter Morton. So the Alexis had that wheel bearing failure in the qualifying session. Good to have it in both races after a bit of repair work. The car's through with, I would say now, Peter Morton having got clear of the traffic once again, starting to retaliate. That gap which had opened up is just creeping down ever so slightly as he bears down on the leading Lotus 27 into the chicane. So Mike Hibbard leads the way. This will be the end of lap number 6. 7 more minutes to go. And don't discount this man, Dennis Welch, being a bit modest maybe in 3rd place, but he's still driving his heart out here, so he's getting a little bit nearer now to the 2 ahead of him.
Yeah, Dennis Welch crossing the line is a good 6/10 quicker, 6/10 quicker than Morton. So yeah, we need to watch Welch, the guy with the goggles and the open-faced helmets and the classic style helmet rather than the modern closed-face helmets. And there's Duncan, number 7 in the Carrot, as it's nicknamed, the organiser of the championship, just going through Redgate there. What a gap! The gap has now closed up massively through Craner curbs. I don't know if Hibbard had a problem, but Morton had a great run and looks like he's going to have a definite pass on Hibbard or a go very, very soon.
Isn't Formula Junior racing superb? Look at this, nose to tail then. Lotus versus Lightning Envoy, up towards McLean's they come. There, Mike Hibbard pulls out a bit of a margin, but he also goes much wider, much deeper into the corner. We saw that lap after lap in race 1. Seems to work for him. Peter Morton there in 2nd place then as they come with 6 more minutes on the clock. That's all out of Coppice and now down towards the chicane.
Yeah, I thought Morton had sort of peaked a bit early because he dropped massively back, but I think he just got unlucky with back markers. But look, we're in the tow now. We've seen it earlier today with the Caterham Racing. Hibbard's made him go around the outside, then blocks the line, takes the racing line, uses all the road, kisses the curbs, avoids the red big hump on those chicanes. And again, Morton's still 6th for 2nd at the moment, but Hibbard is making that Formula Junior, that Lotus, very, very wide indeed. So Morton in the braking zone, car snaking He really is pushing that that car very, very hard in the 75 car. Is he going to take a lunge at Craner Curves? Possibly not, but we know he's quick through there, so let's have a look.
Mike Hibbert covers every line, doesn't he? Every opportunity for Peter Morton, who's really brave on that final part of the Craner Curves, hooks it over the curb. It's a straight line that a little bit. He's right there on the tail of Hibbert then as they come now up towards Schwant's curve once again. So the two of them nose to tail for the race lead, and as they head towards McLean's corner, let's just see whether Mike Hibbert does that usual trick of his of going very deep into the corner, turns his way. Yep, he does indeed go deep, but comes out, I would say, another length or two ahead of Peter Morton, so it does work, that line.
Well, I've never seen it work that much, but it really does open up quite a lot, actually. It's a very peculiar line. Obviously, the tighter line's normally the best. It maybe suit that car, or it's just something he's found that suits his driving style, but he definitely pulls away at McLean's by doing a very different racing line.
As you say, it works for him. So 4.5 minutes remain. Well, Peter Morton has done the hard part. He's got right onto the tail of the race leader, but can it be two lights to flag victories for him? Here they come over the timing line now. Mike Hibbert leads the way. It was 1/10 of a second at the start of the lap. It's going to be more than that now. Peter Morton has lost a little bit of ground. It's up to 6/10, so he needs to have a think about this, and also bear in mind that Dennis Welch is lapping quicker than the two race leaders, and he's bearing down on them. So a bit like Peter Morton in the first race, caught up with the leading group. Now Dennis Welch is doing it the other way around. He's catching Peter Morton. So he is 1.8 seconds away from the Lightning Envoyette. 2.4 seconds covers the top three. Mike Hibbert leads the way, and again with that really good line through the Craner Curves, the gap is reduced down at the old hairpin.
Yeah, he seems to get a really excellent run out of the old hairpin. Remember, it's a climb uphill. It's a constant climb as you now come into Schwant's curve. Morton really has got that sus, but then Hibbert seems to find it on the other half of the lap. So sort of from here round to Redgate, which is past the start-finish line, he has an advantage. So it's even Stevens between these two. Morton really has got to pull something out the bag to get close enough for a pass.
He's been 1/10 away from the back of Mike Hibbert, but he's never really been able to have a proper look to get through. Now, this is where he needs to be close and then let the toe do the rest of the work, but he's not going to get right onto the gearbox, is he, as they head down towards the chicane. Mike Hibbert is coming up to traffic, so this might just influence things with 3 more minutes still to run. Hugely successful driver, Mike Hibbert. Peter Morton, then, the 26-year-old, has done a great job in this race, and he's inching up once again onto the tail of the leader. He's just done the best lap of the race. Peter Morton is down to 0.4 of a second, so he is closing all the while. More back markers dodge out of the way. Into Redgate corner they go. Peter Morton on the inside line there, works his way past the slower car, and now will do his level best to stay on the tail of the leader as they go down through the Craner Curves. They just lap the Nosa, the Australian-built car of Jarrah Venables. There is Mike Hibbert threading his way through the traffic, and again, look, that tight line midway through the Craner Curves from Peter Morton, and Mike Hibbert has to get past another slow car here. He's not going to get in his way. All good. Powers his way through now.
Yeah, Hibbert definitely got hindered there by the back marker and definitely gave Morton the advantage. So it would just be lovely just to see Morton, Peter Morton, the young lad, and his dad's racing as well, as I mentioned earlier, just get that front nose of that car up the inside, just to give Hibbert a little bit of a scare, just to make him realise that he's bearing down on him every single lap.
So the cars come out of Coppice, and having done the best lap of the race last time through, Peter Morton is there in second place. Now we've got 2 more minutes of the race to go. It's going to be 2 more laps, in fact, as they come down towards the chicane. So is that enough time for him to have another real go at getting back onto terms with Mike Hibbert? And what about Dennis Welch there in third place, who was lapping quicker than the 2 ahead of him, but because of the intensity of that lead battle, they have both speeded up once again. This time over the timing line, they lap in the 20s. Because of the traffic, Dennis Welch laps a little bit quicker, but only by 0.3 of a second. It's not enough. The gap between the leaders is 4/10. Peter Morton closing up once again as they go into Redgate corner. But everything that has been thrown at him so far, Mike Hibbert has been able to repel. He is still there up front. Now, what can Morton do with that demon line through this part of the Craner Curves, and how will that set him up at the old hairpin?
So he keeps it tight, gets on the brakes. Again, I think Hibbert, again, like you said, he's such an experienced driver. He knows that he's game on in there, so he's starting to modify his line, and they're both sort of utilising each other's lines to keep it a dead, even Stevens race. And you've got to remember that these cars are worth an absolute fortune. These guys are just driving round as if they're a hire car that they've borrowed from Hertz or Rent-A-Car or something. They are absolutely on it the whole way round. If in doubt, flat out.
Mike Hibberd here, as I say, so experienced a driver. He's the ideal person for Peter Morton to follow, because I bet Peter's learning a thing or two here. If you want to win in Formula Junior, be Mike Hibberd, really. Mike Hibberd is the leader as he comes to the chicane. Peter Morton is closer than he has ever been, I reckon, this time, and he challenges on the outside, but he's picking up a real masterclass in how to drive a Formula Junior car as they come out of the chicane onto the last lap now. Then half a minute remains. Peter Morton gets a good exit. He's almost level with Mike Hibberd, but maybe he ought to be in the tow here and then duck out and challenge at Redgate. He's on the outside line. He's going to have to be so brave. 94 thousandths was the margin. That was all. Starting the last lap. Still, Mike Hibberd leads the way.
Yeah, Morton really, that was the closest he's got to a move, but then Hibberd, as we've just said, very experienced driver, making that car extremely wide. Back markers can only play into Pete Morton's hands now, really. And the line, yes, is he going to have a little... No, maybe not. That line is definitely working for him very, very well. Powering up out of the old hairpin. It's a shame that we haven't seen much of Jonathan Hughes here, but I'm sure he's having a fantastic time in fourth place in these fantastic Formula Junior cars. They are an absolute pleasure to drive.
3 corners remain. This is one of them. McLean's, Coppice next, then the chicane. And there was no opportunity for Peter Morton to find a way by. Mike Hibberd there is having to defend a bit more, isn't he? You could just see the way the car was moving towards the middle of the road, preventing Peter Morton a chance from going either to the inside or the outside up towards Coppice. He manages to break away by a couple of lengths now, heading down towards the chicane. There's Duncan Rabagliati to lap again in the Alexis, and they come now into the braking area. It's not going to happen for Peter Morton, is it? But he has given a really good account of himself. Mike Hibberd in the Lotus 27 is going to make it 2 out of 2 at Donington Park. He comes out of the chicane up towards the checkered flag over the timing line. Mike Hibberd wins by 0.175 of a second. That's all. Right with him, almost alongside him, was Peter Morton, who on the 9th lap of the race did the best of anybody, got the fastest lap of the race, but it wasn't enough to get the race win. Third goes the way of Dennis Welch in the Lotus 22, and fourth to number 91, Jonathan Hughes, who we saw running with the leading group early on, but that down on power engine really hindering him towards the end of the race. But he's clear of this man, John Truslove, who is going to come through with the ex-Denny Hulme Works Brabham BT6, a car that he's not sat in for 4 years. And John Truslove, Lotus Cortina racer as well on occasions, will come through now to finish in 5th place. And you're looking there at Stephen Bulling in the Sadler, who is going to win his class as he makes his way up now out of the chicane. Another great race, Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic race. And we've got to remember that these cars are worth an absolute fortune. I want to spin car number 86, Jones. Car number 86, Jones, has a spin on the last corner. The last corner, car, surely he can make it across the line, but what a shame to spin on the last corner of the last race of the day.
And he's getting out. I think he stalled it. That car, very successful a few years ago and owned by the American driver Duncan Dayton, who, of course, these days is involved in modern sports prototype racing. So, the end of a great day of racing at Donington Park, and last race for the Formula Junior cars won by Mike Hibberd from Pete Morton in 2nd place, just 0.175 of a second between them. Dennis Welch 3rd ahead of Jonathan Hughes 4th. John Truslove takes 5th, and Chris Drake, a class winner with the Elva 300, comes home in 6th position. So Mike Hibberd then makes it 2 out of 2, and a very good day for him in the Lotus 27. Comes down towards the chicane, celebrating a 2nd win of the day. So Mike Hibberd is the race winner. This our first Motors TV live race day of the year at Donington Park. Next stop, live on Motors, a whole day of national racing, is going to be Castle Combe on the 7th of May, and then it is Mallory Park on the 4th of June. We hope you've enjoyed the racing here from Donington Park. It's been a great day of action. For Jenny Gow in the pit lane, from Charlie Butler-Henderson, and from me, David Addison. Join us again at Castle Combe in May. Bye for now.